All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Ifako. Good morning, Lagos State. Good morning, Nigeria. Um, we are here live on newspaper review on Ifako Radio. So, my name is Victor Kolade Adogbajale, and here with me is.
Yes, I'm Olanere Tiobishagun. Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, the good people of Ifako, Ijai.
All right. So today we are going to be taking us on a few review of what is happening in Lagos, Nigeria, in Ifako and in the world, because I believe we are center of excellence in Lagos State, and we have to project whatever Nigeria is happening, whatever is happening in Nigeria. So, Mr. Shegun, please, have you even observed anything happening in Nigeria lately, or what do you think the people would want to discuss about today?
Yes, definitely we have issues of people who always have high hopes about the present government, the state of the nation when it comes to economy. We also have issues as it concerns security and the well-being of the people, basically, and a bit of education as well. So there are issues on daily basis.
There are issues. So, on the Punch newspaper today, I think I'm interested in the part of the security because every organization you go to, they mention that safety first.
Definitely, even from outside the country, for investors to come in, they want to look at the state of security in the nation.
Exactly. So, a news headline on Punch newspaper today is saying the pastoral crisis. 11 states embrace federal government ranching plans as killing surge. So I see these and I feel like, okay, are they hiding under the bait of the insecurity in other states to accept this ranching or what? But when I read through, I saw governor offers lands, Adamawa Bayelsa, others caution farmers reject open grazing. So 11 states are taking the steps to commence ranching as a way to address the age-long violent clashes between herders and farmers. So what do you think this is? Is it a good idea? Because I can see our Center of Excellence is also trying to adopt this ranching.
I'm afraid, if you ask me sincerely, it is appearing as if they're being twisted one way or the other. Yes, the Benue issue was so alarming. It was a serious minus factor. And maybe out of fear or whatsoever. But whatever they got to do to ensure that lives and securities are safe, I think they should go for it. But a situation whereby they are being twisted, I am not subscribing to that.
My own point of view is quite different from yours.
Okay.
I'm even thinking Lagos State being a place where we have more water than land. Where do you think our governor Babajide Olusola wants to put the cattle? Do you think the lands that have been sold for 10 billion, 100 billion on the island will now be placed for cattle and all of that when human beings are struggling to even get a piece of land?
Sincerely, when you read out that 11 governors already subscribed and you mentioned the Center of Excellence, I was like, wow, what is happening in Lagos? If you look at Ifako, there's no space here for such. If you go to Aige, I'm afraid, if there is, Moshi, of course not. If we go to Alimosho.
That's even if there's any space on the mainland.
That is just.
And now on the island, the lands are very expensive.
God bless you.
And cattle will be living there freely.
I'm afraid. So quickly, I also want to move to the Nation newspaper. And the headline says, Presidency reaffirms Tinubu's pro-June 12 credentials. I want to believe definitely there's a question tag on the involvement of Asiwaju here, and the presidency decided to come out straight to open up or clear the air on what is really happening. Let me quickly go through the text under the headline. It says, the presidency yesterday played former Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido over his remarks on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's role in the pro-democracy struggle. It said that it claims that the president only joined the struggle after the formation of the NADECO, the National Democratic Coalition. Yes, NADECO was false, revisionist, and historically dishonest. The presidency reaffirmed the president's pro-June 12 credentials, noting that he never at any stage deserted the battle he joined at the outset when he was a senator. If you ask me, these seems or appear like a political team. It's like, if I may call it witch hunting,
Okay.
because no doubt, those that know the story, they believe Ashiwaju was an active player as far as June 12 crusade was concerned. He was not just financially involved, he was actively involved. He was there on the street. He accommodated most of Nadekos that fled Nigeria under the military junta. And he played so much role. The reason why Jigawa State governor, or the former Jigawa State governor, Sule Lamido, had to say he only joined later, I'm afraid I don't know why. But this is politics, and this is Nigeria.
Well, what I say about this is that Asiwaju has been in the game of politics even before a lot of young people in Nigeria today were born. Exactly. And I know that for him to have remained this relevant to today, because he left the governorship in the early 2000s. And here, a couple of months back, he became the president. So I am very, very sure that it is just a kind of witch hunting for people to have said he joined. And then I believe also that he has been actively involved, because Asiwaju has been a comrade even before he became an honorable member. So I think Asiwaju, being the president of Nigeria today, wouldn't have defected or maybe deserted the struggle and then come back to say he wants to front the presidency of Nigeria.
I strongly agree with you.
Definitely. Okay, so moving on Vanguard newspaper today. Well, I'm interested in Vanguard because it starts with V and my name is Victor.
Wow.
So it says politicians defecting are greedy and they lack discipline. Politicians defecting are greedy and they lack discipline. Well, I think it is always a yearly thing or election or a political thing that we always see that politicians defect, particularly immediately after primaries of either general elections or local government elections. This information came out from Wale Oshun. So let me just read through. It says, Mr. Lawale Oshun, a former chief whip of the House of Representatives and the national president of Afenifere Renewal Group, ARG, the former lawmaker who was on exile during the June 12, 1993 struggle, authored the book Clapping with the Hand, the story of MKO Abiola. So what he's trying to say now is that there is an argument that the ideals of the June 12 are no longer with us. Do you agree with this? It is a question by Dapo Akinfero. So it says, politically, June 12 is a complex concept because and it is typified by free and fair elections, typified by hopes, which the military didn't ever allow to materialize because of the short change. So what I can see from this is that it is being observed that both at the federal, at the state, and at the local levels, people usually defect from one political party to the other. What do you think is the cause of this?
Yes, that is even rampant. If you look at the crop of people at the National Assembly now, you discover that a lot of opposition parties, members that were elected under the auspices of other political parties, are joining the ruling party now. Yeah. I will agree with Honorable Wale Oshun. Because one, in everything we are doing, there must be a level of perseverance, persistence, and also if we all decide to join the ruling party, what should be the role of the opposition? When those that should be there constructively criticizing the government to ensure that they're always on their toes, giving to Nigerians what they really deserve. Because we approach them, no doubt, when you want to solicit for election, you go with your manifesto, you tell them you're going to do this. They're bound to derail when nobody is on the watchdog list. And that should be the core assignment of our opposition. But unfortunately, everybody just wants to be the winning team. And that, if you ask me, should not be. I once stated that there should be a mayor and there should be a way to recall all these people when they are fled in their party for another party. One, is it for one benefit of the other? Is it for the fear of the unknown? Is it to ensure they return to power? And if you are credible and you are responsive to your constituents, be it at the state or national level, there's no doubt they will reckon with you and give you a second-time ticket. But issue of everybody defecting, are we trying to form a one-party state? So, if you ask me, that should not be.
Okay. I quite have a different view about this also. I think for anybody to defect from one party to the other, I think it is necessary that the person makes a public declaration. Not just public declaration, stating reasons behind it. Because there are some reasons that can be reasonable, like now monetary wise. Some political parties, which I don't want to mention, the price for getting funds can be very, very, very high. And when you get into the system as a young person, you feel, okay, I can't cope with this, I have to defect to the other person.
Talking about the price, Victor, they always have a way to get the money. But you see, I think there is a particular requirement. If there is crisis in your political party, and there's nothing you are seeing in view that will reconcile the system, most importantly, when it is at the national level, yes, INEC give room for proscripting. But in a situation whereby we have reconcilable differences, I see no reason why everybody should just disappear from their own house to another. If we do that, I'm afraid what will happen in the nearest future.
It's even funny and weird that, you know, when it comes to political party, this has to do like with something like a competition, because you know you're in competition with another political party. Political party A is in competition with political party B, and for every competition there are always rooms for backstabbing. So a political party you have backstabbed because of your own favor. You have told the masses, you've told them that, okay, this party is this, their representatives are this, and all of that. Then on the long run, you shamelessly or courageously move from your own party that you have projected as the best, then to that political party you have backstabbed before. I want to ask, can you do something like this?
Go for it. I remain myself. I want to, yes, for now, no riches, but we want to maintain that integrity, no matter how little, and I don't want anything to dent with it.
You sound like someone who belongs to the member of the ruling party, because I know this their loyalty is always 100% at top notch.
We are not talking about political interest here.
Of course, we are not. I didn't mention anything.
We are looking at what we have in the dailies. But nevertheless, if I belong to any political party,
if you belong,
yes, they will definitely have my best, and I don't see myself proscripting.
Okay, I like that fact. He said, "If you belong, I would want you to belong to a political party today, because you don't just determine what happens to the country by being in isolation.
God help us.
So, will you join a political party today?
Or
you have joined?
Let's fold our hands and see what we have in store.
All right.
Yeah, moving on. I'm still on the Nation newspaper. And the headline here says we have no party registration application before us, says INEC. We have no party registration application before us, says INEC. And I want to believe this is as a result of the news making round, most especially in the dailies, that a particular formation is coming up and they already have the paper before INEC. But let me quickly read through the text. It says no group has applied for registration as a political party. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has said the electoral umpire insists that associations seeking to be registered as political parties must follow laid down guidelines and abide by the legal and administrative requirements for registration. Admitting that over 100 associations are in the queue, the Commission said none of them has submitted a formal application to it yet. And I think this puts a bigger question tag on those that are coming up to say they are forming a coalition or whatever, claiming that they have approached INEC. Because this is a big one for INEC to have said no political party or no paper has been submitted to that effect. I hope this will not have a bigger setback on them. There's nothing wrong in formation of a new political party. When a particular cause is not worth embarking on, you decide to change your name and also absorb other members that may share your view, like minds. But sending out a wrong information to Nigerians is a minus factor. And INEC has spoken that according to them, up till this moment, nobody had submitted a paper to be registered. Let me take that second paragraph again. The umpire insists that associations seeking to be registered as political parties must follow laid down guidelines and abide by the legal and administrative requirements for registration. Then something is missing there, which I believe they should critically look into.
Yeah, I think I like this bold step made by INEC because it's very, very important that you clear the air.
Sure.
A lot of people will just wake up one morning and, something about registration is that their due registrations are their backdoor registration. So I am not saying the political parties have made any backdoor registration and they now felt like, okay, they have made something right.
I want to believe with the credibility of the INEC chairman, they won't open such backdoors. And one of the reasons why they have spoken out now, at least we know what is obtainable.
Yeah, that even brings me to this topic. Let me slightly dive into this.
Okay.
We are looking at local government elections like very, very soon, and then we are looking at loggerhead between the LASIEC and then INEC. What do you think about voters card registration and PVCs? Do you think it is important that they should open the portal for new registration because I believe a lot of people could be disenfranchised, being the fact that you have to be 18 years and above before you can register for the voters card. And now, the last time we did the registration was during the general elections. We have people who are interested in political participation now, and they possibly were not up to 18 during the general election, and now they are up to 18. What do you think about it? Do you think there should be synergy between INEC and LASIEC so that they can ensure that during local government elections, there is also portal opening for young people?
Yes, that would be a welcome development. But if we look at it, INEC, Independent National Electoral Commission, happen to be the main umpire here. It's a regulatory body. And LASIEC is just like a sub to INEC. And until they have spoken, there's nothing. LASIEC cannot register anybody. Yes, so the synergy would have been a plus factor if they can make it happen. Now, no doubt that INEC have their own calendar. They have a particular number of years where they renew, where they re-register, and also accommodate, give room for those that lost or misplaced their voters card. But what really matters is that electorates or those that have qualified must be willing. They must show some level of interest as and when due. I want to believe any moment from now, they are also listening to Nigerians. They are listening to people from different states because state elections will definitely come at different times, and that will definitely franchise a lot of people. But I want to believe with the INEC chairman we have on seats now, they will do something about that, hopefully. But those that have qualified should also be willing. Because if you look at the teens of this generation, they are not willing to make any sacrifice. We have a lot of people that already qualified, that hope to have registered during the last general election. But because they cannot stand to queue, just to endure a few minutes to ensure that, okay, at least they have that power.
Exactly, to decide what happens.
Yes, whether to vote for or to vote against. But they don't know that they are also affecting themselves one way or the other. But I hope INEC and LASIEC, as well as other state electoral commission, we sit down and have a compromise.
Yeah, I think I would want to go with that. I hope there is going to be a synergy between INEC and LASIEC, particularly because we need to keep increasing the level of participation between young people. Because I understand that we are not there yet, particularly when it comes to young people. We are not, and for us to be there, or to be closer to there, in quotes, we need a consistent rejig. Because there was a rejig, and I'm very, very sure you understand what I'm saying. There was a rejig during the general election, particularly between the two political parties who had loggerhead. Or let me say three. So, and there was a rejig amongst youth, and a lot of people increased their level of participation politically. But now, I think the morale is dying down. We have entertainment and other things trying to distract us from what is happening in the country. So, I think local government elections should also be a constant rejig for the political participation, particularly for young people.
Victor, that was why I said they must be willing. From my observation, I think the youth of this generation are only concerned on short-term projects. And short-term projects don't quite give results like that. They need to be persistent. They must have a long vision. Our ability to stay on board, come rain, come sunshine, to ensure that we get this done. That is what the youths need to improve on.
Yeah, but I am a youth, and I think I have more relationship with young people. And I think naturally, or let me say innately, young people have this nature of apathy. What do I mean? If a young person wakes up in an environment and sees there is a government in the environment, it doesn't have to be a political government or anything, but there is a leader. There is a subconscious mind of that young person that feels the person is not going to do it right. Naturally. Even in class, we all come together, say this is going to be our class governor, blah, blah, blah. But we don't understand what the person is facing with the lecturers, with the management of the school. But when the person makes a little flaw, we'll be like, oh, this person doesn't know how to. So it is a natural thing. And I think for a few young people who are closer to the government or who understand better, there is a challenge and a charge to us to continue the sensitization and also spread the orientation within young people. But then there is going to be a physical engagement, just like the local government election. Because I must be sincere with you. You can't compare the media space during the general election to the media space during the local government election. And election and politics is grassroots. So there should be something that will bring the commitment of young people constantly.
That is one thing they're failing to understand. Grassroots election matters most. But they are looking at the peak there. And there's no way you can get to the peak without starting from the scratch. And they're talking about people with pessimistic ideas. I think it is one thing we genuinely need to work on. Most importantly, this generation. And at the same time, you cannot stay at the back and trying to correct what is happening at the front. If you want a thing done well, there's nothing stopping you from also coming on board. You can as well do it yourself. If you believe, yes, I have a better offer, then you come on board. Now, okay, I want to do this, but not just for the sake of criticizing, condemning. Some people are like that. Some people are natural hypocrites. When you see them, they want to X whatever you are doing. Exactly. And that should not be a thing that we should encourage. So moving forward, since I don't have a publication with a letter O as online I still maintain the nation, and I have the headline here that says, why we are increasing charges by CAC. Why we are increasing charges by CAC. And I hope this will not discourage the SMEs from getting registered. The Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, has announced a review of its service fees, set to take effect from August 15, 2025. The Commission said the move is part of ongoing efforts to improve service delivery, enhance efficiency, and adapt to current economic conditions. The Commission, in a statement, cited rising operational costs and broader economic pressures as key reasons to the adjustment. So it is also affecting them. It is happening to them. So if they are also feeling the heat, then they should understand that Nigerians are feeling it more. But I sincerely hope this will not dissuade a lot of people that are striving to start something, to get registered. Because even if you don't register, you cannot approach organizations like Bank of Agri to say, I want to get a loan. But I hope these increments will be a reasonable one and not the one that will be so harsh and affect negatively.
Yeah, I think couple of years back, or maybe months, if not up to a year now, I think there was this information that spread around, and there is a standard for all SMEs, all business owners, to ensure they register their businesses. And it has been made compulsory, particularly even for people who are into POS businesses and all of that. So, as small as POS businesses, it could be a small business to some people. And
business is business. Those guys are also making money.
Exactly. So now there is this standard that all POS and every other merchant should ensure they register their business. But now, young people who are still trying to strive, who are still striving to ensure they have food on the table, don't you think it's going to be a very difficult thing for them? Now, I think the price for the registration it varies depending on
Yes.
what your scale of business is and how solid you want it.
Sure.
But then, no matter what it is, you will still be spending roughly about 15 to 20,000 naira for the registration.
Even more for those that would not do it online by themselves.
Exactly.
We have all these vendors that
and they will charge you.
They charge more.
So I think, and a lot of people are, as it is called small and medium scale, a lot of people feel okay. They I don't want to use the word myopic, of which I have said, but then they don't see beyond them putting food on their table. So they feel like, what is the need for me to restrict my business when all I want is just to get this 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira profit to put food on my table? So I think it has discouraged a lot of people, because I have many young people who want to go into the POS business and they have been asked to bring their CAC for registration, even when they were being promised free terminals. So they have been asked, and they be like, where should I get money from? I'm just trying to start a business. So I really feel it's going to affect, and there should be alternative measures.
Yes, there should be, but since CAC is also an organ of government, I think they should see what they can do. That was why I said earlier that they must be reasonable with the review, because they blame most of all these things on the economic situation, which I don't think is orchestrated by those who feel the needs. I think we have just 4 more minutes. If we can quickly look at 2 other headlines, if I may go from here. Okay, maybe we should take this as the last headline here, and I'm taking it from the Tribune newspaper, Nigerian Tribune. The headline says APC is jittery. Tinubu is one-term president. I didn't say that. That was PDP. APC is jittery. Tinubu is one-term president, says PDP. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and all Progressive Congress have been asked not to rejoice yet over the gale of defections into the party, and that is what we were talking about.
Exactly.
So much defection. It has been en masse that they should not rejoice yet over the gale of defections into the party by opposition politicians, as this do not translate to the defection of the Nigerian people, who will continue to demand accountability. The National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Debo Ologun Agba, who said this on Sunday while interacting with journalists, further stated that the Progressive Congress has continued to dose Nigerians with a recipe for failure ahead of the 2027 elections. He also said the Independent National Electoral Commission cannot decide the party's agenda nor fix an elective meeting for the party, as this runs afoul of the Electoral Act 2022 as amended. But the major thing is that they are saying something.
Exactly.
They just want to note that we're still very much around.
On ground.
So, and that is also good for APC. At least they will know somebody is saying something somewhere. We need not to sleep. That is
we
good.
need not.
Yes, we need not to sleep. I'm referring to the APC.
Okay.
That they need not to go to bed. And further that Tinubu is one-term president. That is telling you that nothing good suits just one person. They are also in that seat. Putting in mind that they've been there for several years. Unfortunately, they lost it, and they've been out of office for like this will be the third term now,
to get back,
and they want to get back by all means. That is politics.
Okay, yeah. What I say about this is, I think in Nigeria the system is majorly every political office holder runs. Majorly. So now, Tinubu, well, I wouldn't say I understand the meaning of his cap, because there's a sign on his cap which always depicts something like infinity. But if you look at it again, it depicts something like 8. Exactly. Yeah. So, well, I won't want to judge or stand on a position, but I think I don't know. For President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I think he would want to do something justice to the symbol he has been carrying.
Yes, it's been a wonderful session and on Ifako Radio here, and it has been a newspaper review this morning. We hope to join you same time, same station tomorrow by the special grace of God, 10:30 a.m. And I hope you follow us on all our social media handles. On Facebook, it is Ifako Radio. On YouTube, Ifako Radio. On Instagram, Ifako_Radio. On X, formerly Twitter, Ifako Radio. WhatsApp channel, Ifako Radio. And we hope I will be here, God's willing, tomorrow. I am Alanereti Olusegun.
Yeah, Victor Kolade Abdul Badale is my name. Thank you very much.